Okay, welcome to end of the month and therefore book review. And this month I'm doing this one inside the Mirror Box, Spells and Theory for All Practitioners by Ray Baker. Now, I just want to actually start with some criticisms because it's possibly the criticisms that will cause people not to pick this book up. And I just want to point them out and say, don't let that stop you from reading this book because it's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant, especially when it comes to, using mirror boxes in spell work. So first of all, the cover. It's actually probably the first thing, my daughter, when I got the book, my daughter picked it up and said, oh, I wouldn't read this book. The cover's a bit boring. So the cover itself was actually a very specific thing, and when you start reading the book, you understand why. It's referring to a photographer's blog who was doing this specific type of photography, and so Ray Baker actually did that, created this cover, the image for the cover itself. So when you start reading the book, the imagery on the front actually starts making sense. But the first impressions, as we say we shouldn't read a book by its cover, but we do. Also, I find the colours, the grey, to be very much kind of like textbooky, which is a bit off-putting for straight out the box type of thing. Then the back, it's a bit illegible over this image. Again, it feels very textbooky. It starts off, if you can read this, a shining beacon in the vast sea of Witchcraft 101 books. And this is not a Witchcraft 101 book. It kind of is, but I think it goes a bit beyond that. It's assuming that you know how to work magic and you've done spell work before. So I definitely wouldn't call it a Witchcraft 101 book. Yeah, and then if you do open it up, you've got the chapter headings. Let me just get to the beginning of a chapter so you can see what I'm talking about. So you've got these chapter headings, which it's a box, makes sense in reference to what the actual thing's about, but very kind of 90s type of design. And then you have the chapter heading, and then the subheadings within the chapters are just normal text. They're not bolded or anything like that. It's, as I said, the content of the book is absolutely fantastic. Don't let these things put you off and stop you from buying it, because really, it's definitely worth it. All right, so criticisms out of the way. Let's get to the actual text itself. So, mirror boxes. If you don't know what mirror boxes are, it's a way of working magic and spell work whereby you create a box which either has mirrors facing inwards or outwards depending on the purpose of the actual spell. And what happens is the mirrors enhance or what's the word? Empower. I'm trying to think of the word. Duplicate, increase. There's a specific word I'm looking for, and I've just completely forgotten it now. But if you think of it in terms of if you put one thing in the box, it's going to reflect it 10 times more potent, more powerful type of thing. So if you put if you need healing, let's say for instance, and you put yourself in the box with some healing charms, some healing sigils, things that represent healing within the box, and all the mirrors are facing inwards. What's happening is the energy is being created for healing work specifically, and that's being reflected by the mirrors, and it just keeps snowballing, and the energy goes stronger and stronger and stronger. If you are using it for protection, you can put yourself in the box with mirrors facing outwards. Any negative energy that's sent to you is then reflected off the mirrors which are facing outwards, and therefore it cannot reach you. This type of principle, it definitely works with sympathetic magic, very much in relation to puppets actually. Okay, so we have all the various chapters, which this doesn't really give us much of an indication of what it's about. The first part is obviously talking about actual magical practice. Goes through various ethics, and there's quite a few ethics and rules in here, which he has found himself to be notable. And it's not your normal type of, the Wiccan read or anything like that. It is specifically regarding magic itself and regarding mirror work, mirror boxes. Then it goes into the chapter which talks about mirrors facing inwards and then mirrors facing outwards, and these are actually the spell workings. This is one of the reasons I actually love this book, and I do like books which have. Let's just have a look. Let me just go to one of those chapters here. So inside the mirror box, this would be the mirror facing inwards. It's from personal experience. All of the spells within this book, he has done, he has worked, and it's very specific to, or very personal. It says mirrors in. So this is when you're working spells for basic return to sender spell. All the little charms and incantations that he uses, and he gives supplies to the things you need to use, and then the actual ritual working itself. It goes through a more severe return to sender of using La Santa Muerte. And then we've got things like cursing a thief. This is what greed gets you. All of these types of spells. Let the truth be seen. So it goes through various spell workings, and then the opposite, the mirrors facing outwards, and spells you can do for that particular working. It also has some information. I was there just now. Here, so it goes through various. If you want to work a particular thing for, say, banishing, it discusses how you can use the mirrors facing inwards, how you can use them facing outwards for that particular thing. It goes into colors, herbs, day of the week you might want to look at, planetary aspects, moon phases. Goes into the elements. They're specific. Goes through all of them and. Relates to how they can be used for banishing. Goes into stones you can include. Goes into symbolism itself. Sorry if the camera is flashing and going bright and then dull again. I'm not sure why. Should be fixed anyway. So then breaking spiritual blocks and addictions, confidence and success, ending a friendship or relationship. So very specific types of workings you might want to actually do, as opposed to these very specific, truth-telling fluid creation of it, banishing negative people or influencers. So these are very specific types of workings themselves. Then, as I said, the beginning of the book is very much a discussion of magic, of working with the mirror box, and all of those things, and the ethics. But what I really want to have a look at here is, after all of these, the two chapters which discuss all of the mirrors facing in, facing out, and those specific workings. Hang on, let me just go back to. Let me actually just do this. Oh, here we are. Just here. So this is the end of the mirror facing out chapter. And what we've got here is the Star Shield meditation. And it's a brilliant, excellent meditation if you want to do this. It's specifically for protection. And it's interesting, the method, the meditation, the visualization that you go through is actually putting yourself into a mirror, visualizing that. So great meditation, I quite enjoyed that. And then what to do when everything's finished. You've done your work. There's no more energy going into it. Indications of when the work is finished. For instance, the mirror box might break, something like that, and it's kind of an indication that you need to finish the mirror box. How to dismantle it, take it to pieces. How to discard of the parts of the mirror box, the bits you put in, and the mirrors themselves. through using earth, bury it, through using water, and going through the different elements of how you can actually dispose of the ritual items. If it breaks, so it discusses everything, really everything. There's no kind of what do I do if. This really goes into everything. He's considered all aspects of this particular working. Then he goes into other aspects of mirror working, mirror magic, and discusses things like scrying with mirrors, how to make the black mirror or the dark mirror, scrying with water in a bowl. This is still using the black mirror, and then he goes into the Nostradamus scrying bowl. So that's using a bowl with water to do the scrying method. And then it goes even further, how to use mirrors on altars, actually reflecting what you're doing on your altar in the physical, reflecting into the astral, for instance. Just carry on here. There's the love altar. It's a specific type of working, how to bring love into your life. No matter what that love looks like, whether it's from somebody else or just love for yourself. It's very specific working for an altar. And then, I'm sure there was more after this. Locker mirror protection spell, mirror wash protection. There is actually an ingredient. If you go back to the, I'm not going to remember where it is now, but if you go to, when you're going through the scrying with mirrors section, there's actually a specific ingredient to add to your actual mirror to enhance the effects of the scrying itself. So charging the mirrors for protection, all this stuff. And in conclusion, all right, so that's it. But absolutely fantastic book. I love this. It, as I said, it covers all bases. There's no guessing of you kind of like reading through it and you're getting to know the method and the spell working itself, and you kind of come up against this question. I don't think it will be answered in this book. This was published in 2015, first edition 2015. It is self-published. It is on Amazon, obviously. I'll put a link to Amazon, the book on Amazon, so you can go purchase it there. And I definitely recommend this. In fact, it's one that I've added to the first degree training for Temple of the Horned Serpent. It's actually one I've added as one of the recommended books, or necessary actually reading books. And yeah, so yeah, as I said, self-published, so there's no big publishing houses on names on here. But I definitely recommend this book. Go grab it. Brilliant. And that's it for this month's review anyway. Have a good one, and go buy the book. And if you do, as I said, I earn a small commission if you go buy it through Amazon, the paperback itself, and I do appreciate that. And thank you. It goes towards actually buying more books to review on Amazon. Okay. Cheers for now. Bye bye.